Is drinking raw milk safe like RFK Jr. suggests? Can you reduce a glucose spike if you eat your food in, quote-unquote, the right order? I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp. I host a nutrition myth-busting podcast called Bite Back with Abby Sharp, and those are just some of the questions I tackle with qualified experts on my show. There is so much food misinformation and disinformation out there, and it can feel impossible to know what's real and what's BS. On Bite Back, my goal is to help listeners create a pleasurable relationship with food, their body, and themselves, which in my opinion is the fundamental secret to good health. Listen to Bite Back wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Monday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. A very happy final week of school to all the students out there.
Yeah.
Big week. I was laughing really hard yesterday because kids are very excited counting down the days. And, you know, it's maybe the 1 week where all three of them are excited to go back to school. Except Marcus and Alex were talking about all the fun stuff that their teacher has planned for them this week in the final days. And then Mavis was talking about how her teacher said that they have an assignment that they're going to start today during school. And I was like, oh no, you got the one teacher that's going to try really hard.
That sucks, man. The last week of school is just supposed to be dicking around, watching movies.
Right. If anything, it's like a chance for those students who kind of slacked off to finish things that they didn't do throughout the year.
I feel like at this point, everything's done. Like the last 2 weeks of school doesn't even matter.
I mean, Marcus's teacher literally came up to me, not even last week, I think the week before, and was like, the report card's looking good. Meaning they've already started to write out
There's
final
nothing
grade.
that's going to happen in this last week of school. It's
Right.
not like the movies where it's like, if you do this one thing, like, actually, you know what? I will say the only thing that sucks about the last week of school is anyone who's like dreading going to summer school. Because you already know that you're going at this point.
That's the thing, is like, there is a finality to it. Everything is already kind of set in stone. So this is a chance for the teachers to, let's have some fun. Let's do some getting ready for summer.
I don't even know if it's the teachers being like, let's have some fun, or they're at the point where they're like, screw it. Let's watch Bill Nye the Science Guy 10 times this week.
I am legally obligated to care for you for these remaining days, and then you are your parents' problem. So let's just get through it together.
You ever see someone on a job site watching Netflix on their phone? That's what being a teacher is the last week of school. It's like all 3.825s go out the window, and you're like, we're just chilling.
I didn't even think about that. Like, back in our day, like, well, for me, it was film strips. For you, they would bring in the VCR, I'm sure, or maybe even some DVDs. Do you think kids now on, like, those Slack movie days, does the teacher just fire up Netflix and just pick something from the watch list?
I mean, they easily could nowadays,
something from
right?
the kids' profile. And then down the hall, there's that one class where they're like, all right, let's do some fractions.
Dude, if I was a teacher nowadays, I'd like come in and be like, all right, here's a bunch of YouTube videos that I've been watching. I'm going to teach you guys about the Illuminati today. Like,
just sending them links to their email, their school emails. It's like, your homework is to watch all of these and don't tell your parents.
Joe Rogan dropped a 4-hour podcast. You guys want to watch that?
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Yeah, heat warning issued for the entire province for the next few days. It is going to be greasy outside.
Honestly, you're going to want to stock up on water bottles, ice, any of those little like ice tablets that you can put in your water bottle that'll last for a while. It's
Man,
gonna be huge right now.
I want to give a round of applause to anyone who has to work outside over the next few days in this weather. Like, what would you say would be the worst job to work in this heat right now?
We asked a question, and I saw a bunch of people say roofing, and I feel like that's got to be up there.
Especially if you're a ginger guy like yourself.
Right.
Shout out to all the roofers. Double shout out to all the ginge roofers out there.
You're up there, you're working with the tar and the black shingles, and I mean, you're just elevated. You're closer to the sun than the rest of us down here on the ground.
You know who I always feel bad for when these heat waves come in is the flag guys at construction sites.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, everybody that's working in construction in general, with the poor flag dudes out there.
Just standing there. Very rare that the flag guy happens to be posted up somewhere where there's a little bit of shade. The ones I do like are the ones that you'll see And you don't see them in town too often, but if you get out on a like rural stretch of highway, that'll sit in the truck with the sign out the window.
Yeah.
You're just like, that's work smarter.
Honestly,
right there.
that deserves a round of applause.
Absolutely.
I think even if you work inside somewhere, like a shop or whatever that doesn't have AC, like that's
just-
going to be
'cause
pretty brutal.
The immediate thought, I even kind of thought this earlier when we were talking about this topic, is like, oh, if you're inside, like you can't complain. But if you're in some of those like stuffy factories and warehouses and stuff like that, like it's almost worse because that heat's just coming in.
You got a lot of big dudes in there breathing all the time. just building up, accumulating.
If everyone could keep their CO2 to themselves today, that'd be great.
Half the dudes are smoking, taking up more oxygen.
And just all these like old metal buildings, it's just, you're in an oven.
You want to talk about being in an oven? Shout out to anyone working in a kitchen
Yeah.
this week right now. I mean, you can't even tell what's sweat and what's fryer oil anymore. Like,
Take a French fry and wipe it off someone's forehead.
there is not enough cornstarch for your crotch to go around this week.
powder all around, baby.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Sean, what would you say is the worst job to work in this heat wave?
Pumping out outhouses, for sure.
Oh, God. I can only imagine the smells.
It would be a nasty heat wave of methane everywhere.
Oh, just any sort of thing with sanitation, whether it's like cleaning porta potties, recycling, garbage men right now. Like,
The garbage men, yeah. Picking up the big bins from the fork truck for waste management or something. Whoa.
which I think is a reminder to everybody listening right now that not only do smells get enhanced with heat, it's just a reminder for everyone to put on some friggin' deodorant today.
For sure. I couldn't even imagine. It'd be disgusting.
Oh, yeah, any of those sanitation jobs. And then someone just texted in and said, I'm an HVAC guy. Do you know how much it sucks to be installing people's ACs out in the heat? Which, like, sure, you get like 10 minutes afterwards where you get to test it out, but that sucks hearing someone complain about, oh my God, my house is so hot. And you're like, yeah, I know.
I'm aware. But I would say that's probably the job with one of the best happy endings of that moment when you finally go to fire it up and you just get that like,
But you're kind of getting like blue balled on the air conditioning because then all of a sudden you got to go to your next job and do another one.
Right, yeah. It's basically just like swigging a glass of water on your way to the next desert.
We got Jason on the phone. What do you do for work, or what would you say is the worst job to have in this heat wave?
Well, I'm a welder currently, and I can tell you that it's not being a welder.
I feel like that'd be hot as hell, though.
It is. I worked construction for about 3 years, and I had to do the finish work on asphalt driveways.
Ooh.
And I'm wearing a pair of plywood shoes to smooth the pad out in 40-degree heat with a rainstorm dripping off my body.
What's the
So I'm gonna
best
say
way?
that's the worst job.
What's the best way to stay cool in those kind of jobs, man?
Don't do them.
That's right. Everyone's looking for the life hack on how to stay cool. It's get a
Not a word
different
of a lie,
job.
though.
Well, if you're looking to lose some weight, asphalt's a great career.
You're not wrong.
Let's get real. The best way to beat the heat is to file a WSIB claim.
You're probably also not wrong there, but you might not gain any friends.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I think over the weekend I learned that I don't like Volbeat. I was always
go
kind
to
of
the
on the
show?
fence about Volbeat. Like, I've never been a hater, never been a lover, really, but went to go see 3 Days Grace.
Oh, yeah, they're on tour together.
And Volbeat opened for them, and I think I only really know a handful of songs, and they played for, felt like an hour.
Yeah.
It started to feel long. It started feeling like every song blended together.
Dude, I worked in Lloydminster in the height of the oil boom in rock radio, right at the time when Volbeat would not have been the opening band on this tour. They were massive.
Yeah.
Every song is the same. Every single song. They are a harder, Monster Energy chugging version of Nickelback, or at least of all the things that people claim about Nickelback.
Do you know what Volbeat sounds like to me? Especially when you don't know all the songs. Sounds like the Swedish Chef from the Muppets.
You have absolutely ruined some drywaller's morning today, but you're right.
That's what. Hey, if you're a big Volbeat fan, tell me I'm wrong on that. I know I'm right.
I had somebody call in to the radio show I was working on back then once and tell me that the lead singer sounded like someone who was using rock and roll to learn English as a second language. I was like, yeah.
Sick
honestly.
riffs, tasty licks, all that good stuff. But then it's like, I just don't know the songs, so they all just start blending together and they just like.
There is a formula. Like, there's like a mathematical equation for how every lyric in a Volbeat song is going to go. Like, it is very much. And listen, if you like the formula, it's like AC/DC, it is like Nickelback, it's all these bands. If you like the formula, it's no wonder they're your favorite brand. You're getting the same song every time.
The best music actually for drunk people at concerts who don't know the words, because all you have to do is...
You don't need to articulate. You don't need to enunciate any of the words of the songs. You just need to find, okay, the cadence for this song is... And then you just make sounds... And then you've got a mosh pit full of people who sound like a chicken pen. Just going...
Yeah. It's like a fever dream in there, man.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I do need to apologize to all the Volbeat fans out there. I think I upset a lot of people. That's my bad. I did not say that Volbeat sucks. I just said that they sound like the Swedish Chef, and a lot of people who had never heard of them before after we played that song do agree with me.
Yeah. I'm the one that said that they suck. I do not care for that band.
Would not go that far.
No.
I do think they rip. I do think their music sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you don't know the songs, they all kind of blend together after a while.
Was 3 Days Grace good, by the way? Because you went to the show. They were both playing.
3 Days Grace was amazing, and Adam Gontier being back in that band makes a huge difference in, like, no disrespect to Matt Walsh, but like when they play one of his songs versus they played the reaction to like an older 3 Days Grace song from the first couple albums there, the crowd just like erupts when Adam sings.
Well, I mean, even getting to see Saint Asonia and Timmins at Rock on the River a couple years ago, and they would play the odd old 3 Days Grace song, and everybody in the crowd is just like, oh, it's happening. This is
my
it.
God, yeah. And then I'll give them credit because, you know, they did split it, I'd say like a 60-40 split between like Adam versus Matt songs.
That's just good co-parenting.
But then even, you know, like they play Just Like You, and they'd give like a Matt kind of a verse somewhere before the chorus comes up. So they were mixing it up pretty good, and the whole dual vocalist thing, I wasn't sure how I'd like it, but it was nice.
They're making it work, and honestly, that's probably taking a lot of pressure off of Gontier too for coming back, which is a good
I will
thing.
say the one thing is, I don't know if anyone was at the 3 Days Grace show, they have like no business dressing like pirates.
How are they dressing like
They're up on stage. I'll show you the video on my phone.
They got like eye patches?
They got like long like trench coats.
Oh, swashbuckling type stuff?
Yeah. They're dressed like, and I'm like, I don't think you guys have one song that makes you guys need to dress like this at all. I don't get it with rock stars where it's like there's a certain point where they commit too hard to being like heavy, and you got to start wearing like trench coats and boots.
Well, I do feel like it's gotten a little bit better, because I feel like it was worse around the time of like Rammstein and The Matrix and all these other like the Blade movies made leather trench coats feel real metal.
Well, and I know a lot of bands, they wear this stuff for gimmicks on stage, but then they wear it off stage, the bracelets and the rings and everything, and it's like it's got to become a chore after a while, right? To be like so rock and roll.
You ever see a guy, like, especially these rock singers and stuff like that, they wear so much stuff on their hands and their wrists. You're like, does it take you 45 minutes just to get into the shower? Like, what's the process like of taking all of this stuff off just to be able to, like, jump in a swimming pool?
Yeah.
This is going to be a nightmare.
What's it like washing your hands after you take a dump, dude?
I assume you have to take it all off. You can't be jingle-jangling while trying to wipe.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast. You know those BuzzFeed quizzes that are so much fun? Yeah, that's not what this is. It's the quiz with Brock and Dalby.
All right, with summer officially here and temperatures really heating up, I was thinking we should have a hot quiz.
Hot quiz with hot songs.
That's exactly what it is. I will give you the artist. You got to give me their hot song.
And it's not just a hot jam. It's actually songs with hot in the title,
Yes,
correct? Okay.
Yes, that's what it is.
Just making sure that you're not trying to catch me on some technicality.
Well, let's see if
here.
you can be hot today.
Okay.
All right, first one here. When I say Van Halen, you would say?
Hot for teacher.
Yes. That is their hot song. Next one here. When I say Foreigner, you would say?
That's hot-blooded.
Ooh, you are hot right now.
Yeah, I think we've run out of the songs that I thought of in the break.
Oh, we're just cooking, baby. We're just warming up.
We're just heating up.
Next, when I say Red Rider, you would say?
Red Rider is it's white hot.
Yeah, I was going to say, think of your skin. So your skin is like in this heat right now.
You know, sometimes you say things that are accurate but uncalled for.
I think it was very, very right, actually. Loverboy?
Loverboy.
Two options you could go at.
Is that one? Is the kid is hot tonight? Yeah. What's the other one?
Hot Girls in Love.
Oh! I actually think I like that song more than The Kid is Hot Tonight.
The Kid is hot tonight because of the Hot Girls in Love, actually.
Yeah. It's all a theme album. It all works together.
Very proud of you. You're very hot right now. 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Number 5, when I say Nick Gilder, you would say?
Hot Child in the City?
I mean, is there any other song?
I was going to say, if you say Nick Gilder for literally any other quiz, I will get it wrong. But I will know this song.
And for the perfect quiz.
Yeah.
Number 6 here. When I say Limp Bizkit, you would say?
Did they do a song called Hot Dog and the Star or Hot Dog and the Chocolate? Damn it. What's the title of it? It's the Hot Dog and the Starfish.
You've said it enough, so I'm going to give it to
Chocolate
you.
Starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
It's just Hot Dog, but I'll give it to you.
Is it okay? That's the album. There it is. I got there in the end.
And the hot dog flavored water.
Yeah!
Blew my mind that they were not talking about food in this song.
No, as it turns out, there's some subtext to their songs. Every now and again.
The more you know, eh?
Did you know that Nookie was not about snack foods?
What?
I'll tell you when you're older.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You've heard of the company Megabus before?
Yeah.
Worldwide transportation company. They released a list recently of some of the weirder items that have been left behind. Uber kind of made this popular starting a few
Stuff
years
that have been
ago.
left on the bus?
People have been taking some weird things on the bus because, like, an Uber makes sense. It's a private vehicle for you to get from point A to point B.
I don't know. The bus makes more sense. I've seen some weird stuff on buses.
I mean, but the thing is like, why are you getting on a public bus with a frozen turkey and then leaving it behind? Because that's right at the top of their list.
I mean, you got to think there's a lot of people that don't have their own cars. They do their own groceries. Maybe leave it on there. Maybe someone stole it, left it on the bus.
How much money do you pay for a turkey to then just forget it in the seat
That's
next to you?
100% someone who did not buy a turkey.
Also, speaking of like incredibly expensive things to just leave behind, multiple full Lego sets, both unopened in original packaging and open in like their own tube like boxes.
Yeah.
Their own tote boxes. A jar of honey was on there. Someone just left behind.
Okay.
Insulin. Just leaving behind vials of insulin for your diabetes.
It's probably not the worst drug that they found on a public bus.
That they did not list on the sheet, but I have to assume there's
I've seen people doing full out drugs on buses before.
significant amount of that. Stamp collection.
Okay.
Somebody found apparently
I'm
someone.
not gonna lie, this isn't as weird as I thought it was gonna go.
No?
I was expecting a lot more crazy stuff. I was expecting like knives, guns, all that kind of stuff.
Apparently, the thing that they say is lost most often: single shoes. I don't know how you get off the bus with just a single shoe.
Well, when you find a single shoe, it's kind of like in a video game when you just find random items somewhere. You have to find the other shoe to get the full points.
It becomes a quest item. Yeah, you have to put it in your inventory and track down the secondary one. But they do say that they return about 95% of things that are left behind on the bus. That's their return rate.
Yeah.
And then everything else gets left to charity, which makes me question, which charity do you think they donated the set of false teeth that they found on the bus too. Like, it just feels like some things should
Why
just
are you taking
be
your
thrown
teeth out on the bus is the bigger question.
It's a real pothole kind of road. You didn't want to chatter them the whole way.
You just want to bite your tongue? Yeah.
You didn't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
762-555. What is the weirdest thing you've seen on a bus? Apparently, this list not weird enough for Brock.
Okay, so my wife went to sit down on the bus because our car was broken down for 2 months last January.
Okay.
And there was an IUD sitting on the seat.
Oh. like the birth control thing?
Yeah, the one that gets I don't want to say installed.
You don't have to get too graphic. No, we get it. In packaging or loose?
I mean, doesn't a doctor have to put that in?
Yeah. I'm assuming it didn't fall out. I'm assuming somebody was carrying it and left it on the bus, but
It's not the kind of thing you usually lose, you know?
No, right? No.
Usually pretty easy to keep tabs on.
It's not effective if you leave it on the seat.
Yeah, IUDs and DUIs, two things with the same three letters that you can never lose.
That's right.
We did get a text from someone in here. They said, I have worked for Coach Canada and Megabus for over 35 years. The stories I could tell you, but I'm driving to work right now. They did say they found a possum on a Megabus to start.
Which just begs the question, like, did it wander in there? Did someone bring it in there?
100% someone brought it on there.
Was it in a carrier where they, like, go stretch your legs, little buddy?
That's what I'm saying. Like, the list that you were reading, I feel like they were just giving you the basics. You know what I mean? They weren't going in depth to some of the deep stuff that they found.
Well, I think there's a difference between things that people lose on buses and things that people bring on buses. Those are definitely the difference. We also had Tim, who says he was a driver on charter buses for a while, say that your mention of people having sex on buses is not rare.
A lot of people losing their virginity on buses may not be losing their wallets. But
Yeah. Also, people just like fighting, like throwing hands on the bus.
all the time, yeah.
Let me ask you this question, because it's very popular for bands and stuff like that to use buses when they get out on tour. What do you think is the more wild bus? The band going town to town playing shows, or just some of these charter buses bringing like regular people, sports teams?
You ever been on a Greyhound bus before? That's like probably what it was touring with Ozzy and Motley Crue in the 80s, man.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You know, as a Leafs fan, I never thought I'd say it, but I'm slowly falling more and more in love with Brad Marchand. That guy has been partying like crazy.
The Panthers have been doing their best to make the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from a few years ago look like lightweights.
Did you see that video of them trying to leave the club? And he's trying, all the guys are trying to get him to leave, and he's trying to go back into the club.
In the wee hours of the morning, 5 players, including Barkov and Marchand, were seen walking out of 11 in downtown Miami at 5 this morning.
5 a.m. He's still trying to go back in
No,
the bar.
guys, they're not even closed yet. Let's
Dude,
go.
Yeah, I used to hate that guy so much. For the past year, he's just become such an absolute beauty. He's won my heart over. And the partying stuff, he's just an absolute menace, man. Like,
It's a good thing that these NHL players make as much money as they do and playoff bonuses and all that, because they are spending money like crazy on all these parties.
well, imagine if he did have a normal job. Like, say he was a sales guy. He just sells something. Like, what are you just going to go on a bender? Like,
You hit your monthly sales quota and you're just like, all right, that's it. Everybody shut it down. We're going to party for the next 6 days.
if normal people acted like athletes when they win a championship, a contractor who gets the bid for a new job, and he's just like, all right, time to pop some bottles.
Yeah,
Like,
haven't even done the job yet, but you got some. We got pen on paper. We are painting this town red.
he's been at a bar every single night. If you follow him on Instagram, the stuff he's posting on his stories, he was ordering pizza to bars. There was like the $20,000 in Dairy Queen that they ordered.
That one I saw, and I was like, that sounds like a good time.
Well, you even want to talk like being a normal person. He was literally tagging NHL teams that traded players to the Panthers. Like Sam Bennett, he posted a photo like, thanks NHL Flames, and all these other guys. He's literally talking smack to potential employers.
That's
which
right.
is the funniest thing.
At some point, his career, his contract will be up, or he could be traded to one of these teams that he is talking trash to.
Imagine if Brad Marchand had like an everyday man job and had to be at a work Christmas party. It would be unhinged.
It would be great for the first couple hours. He'd be exactly the guy you wanted to hang out with. And then by the end of the night, you were like, we got to get out of here.
He's licking your face.
He's out of hand.
He's going to have so many HR complaints.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Yes, it is the last week of school. So we are playing a game called School's Out all week long for lottery tickets. And we've got $100 in Lotto Max tickets for tomorrow night's jackpot.
$40 million up for grabs with the Lotto Max. Our winner today will get $100 worth of tickets that they can use to try and claim that jackpot.
All right, we have got 3 contestants on the line who are going to be school bells for us this morning.
This should be very interesting. I was trying to think during the song of like, how would I make a school bell sound? You got to get the tongue going. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, a lot of tongue movements this morning. If you're not one of our school bells, that does mean you are a judge. 762-555. Let us know who is the best school bell. We'll start on line 1 here. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Derek.
Derek, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Good, how are you?
We're doing good. We need you to be a school bell. However you want to do that is up to you. Let's see what you got, Derek. Like a creepy old phone, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Derek, stay on hold, all right, buddy? Go to line 2 here. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. It's Bruce.
Bruce, all right. We need you to be a school bell. Can you do that for us?
Sure.
All right, let's hear it.
Freedom!
Wow.
All right, Bruce. We'll give you a hold.
Trying, Bruce.
Well,
I get what he's doing, right? The bell at the end of the day signals freedom, but at the same time, the bell at the beginning of the day, or most of the bells through the day, just mean go to another class.
Yeah. All right, we go to line 3. Let's see if we can get this going here. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Tim?
Tim, yeah.
All right, buddy. We need you to really step your game up here. What do you got for a school bell for us?
Okay, Tim, hang on, because I feel like you're doing it right, but your phone is betraying you. Hold your phone just a little further away and try one more time. Somehow that made it worse.
We gotta take.
No, you gotta take another.
We gotta take more callers. Yeah. All right, we're taking 2 more. Hey, good morning. Who's this? Kevin. School bell it up for us, buddy, and please don't disappoint.
I can hear him in the background. He's trying it, but again, his phone is not playing along. It also wasn't very good from what I could hear.
All right, we'll just give it to Derek, I guess. Derek, are you there?
Yep.
Yeah, you get a ding and a round of applause and $100 in Lotto tickets.
What school did you go to?
Is that like a British school or something? Is that like how their police sirens sound different?
Derek, you were literally saved by the bell today, which means you get the $100 in Lotto Max tickets. If you win $40 million tomorrow, will you spare some nickels and dimes for the boys?
No, quarters and 50-cent pieces, boys.
Oh, my goodness. 50-cent pieces and clanging bells? You are from a different time.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word is synergy. Yep, synergy. 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 It's interaction or cooperation between distinct business participants. Well, it's always good to work together, that's for sure. Energy. Anyways, that just about does it. Have a great one. Cheers are up.
Here's the thing. You can tell Ed's never worked in like an office or like business environment before.
Right.
Synergy is one of the most annoying words that you can possibly hear.
It's a buzzword from somebody who feels like he has to tell his employees something but doesn't actually have
We need to
anything
get more
to say.
synergy going between you guys.
I just feel like if we could get all the departments synergizing, then we could really make some headway out in the corporate world, you know?
I do think if you're on a dating app right now, or maybe you went on a date with someone and it hasn't been working out and you don't know how to break it to them, use some business jargon on them and just be like, I just feel like there's not a lot of synergy here.
Just feel like our lack of synergy is really leading to some bad-looking quarters going forward, and I just don't think this is going to work out.
Yeah. You don't want to hang out with your girlfriend, friend's boyfriend and just be like, dude, I just feel like there's not a lot of synergy here between us.
There's no synergy, so why don't we just, let's not pretend. Let's just sit quietly on opposite sides of the room.
Your buddy's having a really bad day on the golf course. Just be like, I just feel like you're not synced up with the synergy we've all got going here today.
There's no synergy between your club and the ball, and it's really showing on the scorecard.
Synergy. Use it wherever you can, all right?
Want to be a part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby podcast.